He's one of our own. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond.a.ball podcast. It's your host Ian. Joining me as always is Jay White. Justin, how are we doing today? How are we doing on this hump day in the last week of May already?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think. Memorial Day just passed. We're literally about to be in June, almost halfway to a new year already.
I know, dude. It's
It's
actually crazy when you think about it that way. And then we got the World Cup in 2 weeks, and that's like that'll bring us right to the fall. Like that'll bring us to the
literally,
Premier League season, and then it's the fall, and then it's Christmas.
yeah, we basically just got to survive like these next kind of like 2 weeks without much football going on. I know there's like obviously friendlies and like World Cup kind of uh games to get them ready for it, but we're
Got some
almost there.
MLS this weekend.
Yeah, if you count that as football.
Got some MLS this weekend. Did you watch Crystal Palace today?
I did not. I was at work.
Crystal Palace, big 1-0 win.
Saw Mateta with the goal.
Yep, Conference League champions, and next year they'll be in the Europa League, somewhere where they should have been this year, had they not been screwed over by Nottingham Forest. We're ratting them out.
God, look at them getting trophies out here.
Fuckers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look at them. But yeah, Jay, we got a big episode up ahead of us. We're starting it off with the national team. The rosters obviously were released, and since we have the World Cup coming up in 2 weeks, we're going to go over just a couple of the rosters, mainly US, France, Portugal, and England. And we're going to go through some of our snubs and maybe just kind of questionable decisions there. Then we have our own awards, pretty much section of the pod. Then we're going to go over La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, and the Ligue 1 awards. A few different awards and topics that we have for each of those leagues. And then we're going to wrap up today with our best starting 11 for each league and who we think is the worldwide best 11. Worldwide. It could be any player, any league. I'll tell you right now, you know who's going to be on my list? On my worldwide top 11, Jay? Somebody playing in the MLS.
Oh my God, here we go. Here we
We're
go.
talking worldwide, folks. Best 11.
You know who's gonna be on my
So,
list? Some guy from Saudi Arabia.
yikes. Yikes. He's your best striker. We got a problem. I could name like 10 better ones than him right now. Anyway, Justin, anything you got to say to our listeners before we dive in? I know you were putting together something on your own. A little TikTok machine.
Yeah,
You want to tell the folks about it?
we are officially on TikTok for all those individuals are on TikTok, and we'll say it now. We are at beyond.a.ball. I will tell you guys at the end of the video as well, but we're posting there as well. So whenever you guys get a chance, go follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will be recording these videos or podcasts now, and hopefully get some video clips out of our, or at least my ugly mug. Um, get see our beautiful jerseys. I got my Harry Kane kit on today while I'm waiting for the new red English kit to come in. Honestly, and we're gonna dive into it first. I was a little upset buying that. It was tough for me to buy, I think, a little bit because I'm down on them. And you got your USA kit on. Did you get the new USA kit?
Now, this is 2022, I think, Tyler Adams.
Okay. Okay.
So
I think this is what
yeah, it was it was
2022 as
it was
well.
it was that or the Portugal jersey, and the Portugal jersey was just a blank red Portugal jersey. But I was like, you know what? My country just came out with their roster. Let me show some support on this pod today.
Yeah, your country came out with a shit roster. And that's what we're going to kick it off with today, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen, is
man.
these national team rosters, some of our snubs. Let's go over the United States national team first. I know that is something that you, Justin, definitely were putting in the hours of work in. So, what are your thoughts on this roster? I looked at it and I didn't have all too many like concerns with it or questions with it, honestly, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, so obviously we're not going to go over every roster position that was made on
Right.
because we'll be here forever. But I think like a couple of like my arguments with the roster is again, I think our goalkeeper situation is going to be a problem. If Matt Turner is our starting goalkeeper, I think we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. I don't think Matt Freeze is the answer either. So I think goalie situation is going to definitely cause this team a lot of trouble. Uh, my biggest snub is going to be Diego Luna from Real Salt Lake and Tanner Tessman from Leon. I
Yep.
just think Diego Luna is such a young
I
player, and
can't believe that. I,
and he,
I'm like, I'm shocked. I think, yeah, I'm shocked by that.
yeah, and that was probably the biggest shock to me. And it's not about like to me like he's a big fan favorite over the last 2 years.
Mm,
Fans have really got into him, and he gives energy, he gives creativity and edge to the team. But him not making the roster, especially like how decent he was in friendlies, and it looked like he had a good relationship with Poch.
mm,
And then not making it was definitely kind of a awkward moment for me. And then also the other one was Tanner Tesman. I think where we're really going to struggle this World Cup is in the midfield. I know we have some really good players in the midfield, but we're very thin. And I think he's someone who just comes off the bench, gives size, passing range, just a different tempo of the game. So not seeing him was another interesting one. And then you probably know these two players, Ian. Tim Ream from Charlotte FC. I don't get
I'm
it.
a big Tim Ream
I,
guy, dude.
I,
I'm a big Tim Ream guy, but like
so
10
listen, like,
defenders, Jesus. Like that, I
yes,
have a problem with 10 defenders and four midfielders. I don't know what is he going to run a 4-4 what is he going to run? 4-4-2 and have the wingers play left and like you only have four midfielders, man. You can't run three midfielders out there. You're screwed.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting what he does. But like Tim Ream is like plays for Charlotte FC, obviously. Is like you can get away with a slow and old defender in MLS. If
Yes.
you have Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane, for example, running at Tim Ream, all you got to do is touch the ball past him 10 yards and you're going to beat him in pace. So I just think, again, I think he has leadership, but I think his age is just too much and he's just too slow. And then my last one is Christian Roldan from Seattle Sounders. Uh, so as you can go, a lot of these players are from the MLS. Uh, and again, just with him, I know he's experienced and reliable, but he just doesn't, you don't get enough of him. Doesn't bring anything spectacular. Like, again, I rather would have brought Tessman or Diego Luna to replace one of those two.
Yeah, I think that Diego Luna, like leaving him off the roster is definitely very big. I mean, he's really been one of the bigger names for them. And they also put him all over the advertising. How embarrassing.
Yes, that doesn't make sense. And you know
It
the
doesn't make
crazy,
a lot of sense to me. And they did the same thing with Cole Palmer, and we'll get to him shortly. But like, the other day I got an advertisement for a Cole Palmer England jersey, followed by advertisement for a Phil Foden England jersey. Neither of them made the roster, right? So like, they're marketing the top marketing players they have aren't even on their damn roster. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I
Doesn't
don't
make
get it.
a whole lot of sense
But
to me.
you know
But
the crazy thing about this U.S. national team? Did you hear how Diego Luna received that he wasn't on the team? Did you
an
hear
email,
about
right?
that?
There's an email, right?
How do you, at
Well,
a
Potts
prof
went off about that today. He said it's all a bunch of shit. Literally, he said it was bullshit, and then he called
I don't know if it is bullshit, but that shouldn't even come out. But like even if you have the audacity to even say after everything these players have done, like they're all fighting for a spot. They know the
him.
World Cup. They know once the 2022 World Cup ended, they have 4 years, a little less than 4 years to prove to the coach that they deserve to be on the 26-man roster.
Right.
And to get an email saying, "Oh, unfortunately, you weren't good enough to be selected for the 2026 U.S. national team."
Can you
I would
imagine, bro?
I would be so
That'd be so
livid.
bad.
I'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna change my nationality and go somewhere else." But yeah, U.S. national team overall, again, those were probably my two biggest swaps right there. Again, I think we're still a young team. We're going to depend on Christian Pulisic, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie. Those are obviously going to be our big name players. So it's going to be interesting how far we can actually go with Poch.
It's not going to be very far.
Well,
It's just not going to
yeah,
be very far.
they were
Gio
saying,
Reyna is a shithead. I can't believe he was named to the squad. That's embarrassing. His parents called to get the last coach fired.
yeah, it's a whole nother argument. But they were saying if they don't get, I think quarterfinals would have to be like their level that they have to get to without being a disappointment for the season for the World Cup.
So they'd have to win a game outside of the group stages.
Yes. Is that how it is now? Because they expanded the World Cup. It's not an extra game, is it now? 48, 48 teams. I don't want to do the math right now. We'll get into that when we give our predictions, probably coming up in a week or so for
Yeah,
the World Cup.
absolutely. But I don't think they're going very far. Whatever their goal is, they're not going to reach it. And that's how I feel about this situation with them.
This guy loves his country.
Fucking hate the United States men's national team. There's nothing I hate more.
All right, Ian. Do you want to talk about you want to talk about your lovely
No,
your
let's talk
country
about
then?
them. No, no, I'm not ready for that yet. Let's talk about Portugal though, because I think, and you make a really good point. And I'll let you get into the goalkeepers, but I think it's a pretty solid squad.
No, I agree, and I do think out of everyone in the all the teams in the World Cup, I think they should be one of the favorites to win it all, and they are on the odds if you looked at it. But I think this is also the most complete squad in the world.
Yes.
But between everything, I think they're deep on the field, they're deep on the bench, and we're obviously going to talk about France a little bit as well. But I just think they're great everywhere. There's no weak spots here from this team.
Yeah, no, I think the manager's going to have a tough time. I mean, even naming the starting, well, maybe probably not the starting full 11. But you got Cancelo, Mendes. You can go on the sides, on the wings there, at left and right back. You have Diaz, Diego Dallo, Matthias Nunez, all playing in the back there. And then in the midfield, Yao Neves, who's one of the top, I think, midfielders in the world, especially paired with Vitinha for PSG, having both of them in the midfield. And then if they even start, right, like they could have so many different formations because then you have Bruno Fernandes, you have Bernardo
Yep.
Silva. I can't believe Yao Felix made it though. That I'm a little shocked. I'm a big Yao Felix guy. I think he killed it with Al Nassr this year. I think he had like an incredible
He,
season.
he, he was really good. I think he had
Yeah.
30 plus goals, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Sorry,
he's
not 30 plus. It was like 20
no,
plus
well, I think goals and assists like
goals,
probably
assists.
went off.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know Ronaldo had a great season. Rafael Leao, I know he's always going to make the squad. I mean, he just didn't put up numbers, but I don't think he'll start.
Yeah. If you remember, if you
You know what
remember eight,
you know what they crime, a criminal act, and I don't know who would ever replace him, but somebody should go to jail for this. Pedro Neto being on a World Cup roster is an arrestable offense. Arrestable. Arrestable. And
festival.
I'm going to get into the English quad. Pedro Neto is an MLS player, an MLS talent, I
You
think.
think he's the weakest player on that roster?
He fucking sucks. I think he's the weakest player in like a bunch of rosters. He might be the weakest winger in the Premier League. There's no end product. I don't know what the plan is. He's probably not going to play. He's probably just going to run around a lot up and
It's
down.
it's
But
his work rate that makes up for
I
everything.
get it, but like I'm so tired of hearing about work rate and people wanting to have high work rate guys on the team when there's no outcome. Like if there's a midfielder who has good work rate or a defender who has good work rate, I can like agree with that, right? I could say, okay, that guy's playing some defense, running back and forth. Pedro Neto doesn't play defense. He's just running down the pitch and crossing the ball into the defense who's just taking it away, or he's kicking it out of play, or he's cutting it back in and losing it, or cutting it back. I have a tough time with forwards getting away with bad stats and then saying, oh, well, he's got a high work rate. Forwards have to produce goals. Like that's what they're there for.
Absolutely.
That's my thinking on it. That's like a receiver dropping a bunch of passes, be like, nah, man, he runs good routes, good work rate. Fuck right off. I understand what you're saying.
No, I get it. I get it too. Like you said, he should be producing, and if he's not scoring goals, he should
He's
be
got to be good
he
crosses
should
or
be yes, he should
something.
be setting up teammates to get those scoring opportunities in the attacking third. But as we've seen as a Chelsea fan,
He like can't cross the ball in the air. He
his
like doesn't know
crosses are
how to get
awful.
it in the
Yeah,
air. It
yeah,
just is like a bullet low dredging
exactly.
pass.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on four keepers? What are we doing
What?
there?
Yeah. Well, what are they? What
Is
are
one of
they?
them really good at like taking or saving penalty kicks? Like four of
like
them.
like
Oh,
obviously three is the number because this is how I look at when you have three goalkeepers, and this is most squads do. You have obviously starting goalie, the backup goalie, and then the reserve goalie, however you want to put it. For training sessions, you can play 11v11 or you can stretch it 8v8, however you're doing training sessions for the World Cup teams, short-sided games, and then you have one of the goalies switch. But I don't get why we're doing a fourth one here. Like, if one gets hurt, you still have two. If one gets hurt in the World Cup here, Portugal has three. I almost put four fingers up. They have three. Like, I think we're wasting a field player. And to me, Antonio Silva from Benfica, who's a young, talented, high ceiling player, I think should have been on this roster instead of the fourth goalkeeper.
Yeah, anybody over a fourth goalkeeper. It makes no sense. Like, I mean, I was actually thinking about that today, as I was taking a walk because I was listening to the Crystal Palace match, and they're like, "Oh, Dean Henderson, third string keeper." I'm like, he's probably gonna get so drunk now that they just won. He's gonna be third string. He's not gonna play.
No, they're not
Like,
going to play it.
what
They're,
has to happen for a third string keeper to play in the World Cup?
yeah,
It's only three guaranteed matches. The
yeah,
most you can play is what, seven or eight?
yeah. Like I
Like,
said, it's for training sessions.
yeah, I don't know. He's gonna have a blast though, I guess. He's just probably gonna be boozing it up in
Yeah,
America. That's what I would be doing. It's a long vacation.
I
It's a cool
guess.
vacation.
I do have a question for you because this is Portugal's biggest issue. We said Ronaldo. This is Ronaldo's probably best chance to win a World Cup. Probably has the best team that he's had for a World Cup. You agree with that? Like overall team?
I would say so, yes.
How hard is it on Roberto Martinez? Does he start him? Does he sit him? Like, does he have the courage to make these tactical decisions around Ronaldo? Because you know how big of an ego. Not, you know, I'm a Ronaldo guy over Messi, but you know how big of Ronaldo's ego is.
Yeah. Who starts over him though?
Depending how they play,
Hmm.
could go Felix up top, lay out wide. I know
But
there's
that's the thing though, right? Yeah, we know him on a level of playing against other good pros, right? Like let's be honest, right? Like Al Nasser and the Saudi League is at the top. We know him against better competition. He's not that good. Like I don't think he's a striker.
yeah, that's true. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Eh, Maybe they do just start Ronaldo. I mean, they Rafael Leao. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's tough to think just knowing how much of a important player is for Portugal and knowing it's his last World Cup. Like I was
Right.
thinking they may do a little bit what they did against the last World Cup is like the first game he may start, come out, and then the
Yeah.
second game, like depending how big the game is, I don't know who's in their group on top of my head, but like the second team's weaker than the first team, maybe they'll come off the bench in the 70th minute. And I'm not saying he can't play a full 90 because we know he's probably his body fat level, his fitness is crazy for his age. But
Hmm.
I think they'll base it off that. But I think that's the biggest thing that could ruin Portugal's chance of going on a very, very deep run.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We're going to move over to the French national team. They released their roster as well. And I think for a lot of folks, me including, kind of the front runners here. Well, not kind of, definitely the front runners. Mainly because of that attacking four. I mean, the whole squad, but my
Yeah.
gosh, when you think about Olise, Mbappe, Doué, Dembele, Cherki, Barcola, that's a lot of freaking forward options. Right, has a lot of forward options. I think they're going to be very offensive, but even in deep, in the midfield, they have very solid holding midfielders in Conte, Tchouaméni, Rabiot, and then defensively, obviously, down the wings, you have Teo Hernandez. Do you think Malo Gusto is going to start, or you think it's going to be Digne from Villa?
I think that will be a swap, like a game. Each game, I think it'll be
Malo
a swap.
Gusto is another guy borderline after this past weekend. That was the worst own goal I've ever
Yeah.
seen in my entire life. I think one of the worst where he just kind of passed it. I think he's very close to big shithead territory for me too. He was shit for us this season. He was
I agree.
shit.
I,
He cannot do anything.
I also think it depends what France plays. Like the Chomps, if they go more attacking, like Gusto's not to me is not an outside. He's not an outside back. He's more of an attacking fullback, in my opinion. Like he's much better with the ball going forward than
Right.
trying to play out of the back. So I think if they play that style, which you never know with the Chomps, it's a possibility he could start. But if not, he's probably going to be on the bench.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, there's no defense whatsoever out of Gusto. And I mean, sometimes honestly, even on offense, there's not a lot of stuff that goes on. He's not. At least for Chelsea this season, all he did was he would drive and then he would just pass the ball backwards. You know what I mean? There's
No, yeah,
not a
you're
lot of end
saying.
product. But other than that, I mean, offensively, I think it's the best forwards in the world.
Oh
Like
yes,
that, I think that's the best
that
forward
attacking
concoction.
that attacking for like you said can put goals in the back of the net whenever they want. just being a defender, having to go is be like, oh, I'll I'll mark Mbappe. Oh, don't worry, we got Dewey on one side. Like it's just
Right. And then one
talent
of
over
them comes
talent.
off, and then you put in Barcola, right? And the other one
Yes.
comes off, you put in I don't know, Turam. We'll throw him up there. Cherky's not even going to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah, which is
But
crazy.
Tetzik could come in. Yeah, I mean, he's not even. I don't think he's even going to be close to starting. Like, I don't think he's even got kind of a whiff at it, which is just insane to think.
What do you think
Um,
about Mateta making
I
the
think,
team? Because he was actually on my didn't think he deserved it. I would have took
yeah,
Kamavinga over Mateta.
Kamavinga.
Kamavinga, yeah.
Didn't he just punch somebody in the face?
I don't give a crap if he punched somebody in the face.
Hold on.
Wasn't for the it wasn't for the national team.
I'm.
That,
Su-
Madrid that's a Real Madrid problem. That's not a France problem.
I don't know. I
And
don't know. I like Mateta.
I don't think he's gonna play though.
Yeah, but Kamavinga.
When's Mbappe coming off the bench? Sorry, when's he coming off the field?
I mean, he could get hurt. He gets hurt.
Okay, I hope he doesn't get hurt. But
I hope he does.
oh, here we go. You can't wish injuries on a player. Hey, this is Mateta warming up. 93rd minute, Mbappe's like, all right, I'm coming off. He comes on the field, Mateta, and then the whistle blows. That's what's gonna
Well, it could
happen.
be one of those skill thing or what's it? Skill or specialist things, right? He's probably really good at finishing penalties.
Yeah,
I swear
that's
to God,
actually no, it's
that's
actually a very good point when you think
very
about
good
it.
at heading the ball in. He's a big strike. Like he's good at cleaning it up. I think if they're down one, you put him on as a last ditch effort. That's just like, yo, put the ball in the box and you got to score here.
I know
That's my thinking on it.
that's a good point. I can agree with that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think he's their back, but like he's their number two striker. Like God forbid something happens to Mbappe, right? Who else would be? Yeah, he's their number two. You have to come with a backup striker, unless Dembele. But is
Yeah,
he going to start Dembele up top? Like if you're going to start Dembele, you can't start him at striker. So he's clearly going to have to. So Dembele is not your backup striker anymore.
I feel like you have so much ability to switch that formation with that team.
Four four
Yeah,
two,
with those
four
options
three
up top. Yeah.
three. You could play three at the back. Hell, I mean, just let him do a bunch of playmaker mode in the middle of the field. We'll never stop him.
But yeah, I think France is obviously going to be. I think they are the favorite to win, obviously, the World Cup.
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't agree anymore. One team that is no longer the favorite to win the World Cup, and I am just this is like the shittiest roster I've ever seen put out.
Here he
Thomas Tuchel,
goes.
the English national team, Thomas Tuchel should have been fired. Like the king of England, should have found where Thomas Tuchel was and removed his coaching badge. Some of these omissions from the squad, and I can't disagree with all of them. Some of these players haven't lived up to they just haven't had um, good seasons, right? We're thinking Cole Palmer, not really a great year. Same thing with Phil Foden, but you're hard pressed, really hard pressed to tell me that Harry Maguire didn't deserve it, and you're really even harder pressed to tell me that Morgan Gibbs White didn't deserve it. I'll also throw in Lewis Hall, and I'll also throw in Trent Alexander-Arnold. How they did not make the squad and the selection over is just so shocking to me. Even like a guy like Jared Bowen, right? And then instead, who we're bringing, Jarrell Quansah, who has one senior cap. You had Jed Spence, who, if you didn't realize, was on the 17th place Tottenham team this year. So there's that. You bring in Reece James, who's been hurt for pretty much the last 3 seasons. Dan Burn, I can get behind that. Um, but John Stones has played like 4 minutes all of 2026. So I don't why do you need a John Stones? And then why do you also need the same player in Jordan Henderson? Like, why is he bringing so many babysitters for this squad? I don't really quite understand that. I think they are pretty light in scoring options, right? I don't think there's a whole lot of scoring options. I think bringing a player, and again, like I said, Palmer, not a great season. So, yeah, that's fine. You could leave him off. But a guy like Jared Bowen, a guy like Morgan Gibbs White, they create goals. You know who doesn't create goals? Justin, who made that team? Noni fucking Madueke does not create goals. I believe I looked it up. I think it was five. 5 goals and assists this season for Arsenal. Jared Bowen's almost at 20 when we were talking about
20,
it.
and Morgan Gibbs White was close to 20 goal contributions as
Same
well.
fucking position. And you're gonna Noni Madueke didn't even start for Arsenal. And somebody mentioned, oh, it's because Arsenal won. He did. That doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean shit. So I mean, that no, he's shit. He's a bad player. He's just not good. And then Anthony Gordon, same thing. Another player who didn't start for his domestic club and didn't produce. He produced in the Champions League. He had a great Champions League campaign, and I think we can all agree to that. But what he did in England was nothing. Ivan Toney. I know a lot of people were talking about that. I like Ivan Toney. I think same thing. He's another specialist. He's another finisher. Um, Eze even two. Eze two. I would have gone Morgan Gibbs White over Eze. Eze is another player who didn't start for Arsenal, and all of his goals came against one team in two different games. So I'm not high on that either. You could have had Morgan Gibbs White running through the middle, and then you could have had Jared Bowen out on the right, or I'm sorry, Jared Bowen Jared Bowen on the right. And I think that would be better than Noni Madueke and who's the other guy I just said? Who's the other?
Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon? Yeah, I mean, just
Yeah.
it's just not. Oh, Eze. I'm sorry,
Sorry, Isaiah.
Eze. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts? I mean, I think there's some like pretty glaring omissions.
no, I just want to let you go. Didn't want to interrupt you. I know you were waiting for this moment. Now, like I probably agree with most of them you said. Like obviously we said Cole Palmer, like obviously bad season, but like you saw what he did in the you saw what he did in the
I
what was
do
it, the
have to
Euro
say too, if we're
was it
talking
the Euros?
about yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
do have to
Euros
say
one.
too. I don't mean to interrupt you, but if we're talking about numbers and production, he produced more than Saka.
Yeah, that's a whole different argument. But no,
But is
it
it?
no, it's a whole argument that I'll lose it. But no, again, like you said, Palmer not a good season, dealt with injuries. But like if you want goals and you want goal scoring opportunities, like creativity, penalty
Who's coming
box
off the bench, right?
composure.
Noni
Yeah,
or Cole
exactly.
Palmer?
We saw that in the Euros. Both times he came off the bench.
hmm
He produced for a
Integral.
team that was struggling. I agree with the Morgan Gibbs White. The Harry Maguire to me is one of the best calls, and I think a lot of people give Harry Maguire hate, and I gave him a little bit of hate. I just think how we do. But for his national team, he is a fantastic player for England. And
Yes,
I think
he
it's just
is.
because of who he has in that partnership back there, or how much he loves his country. But like when I look at that England squad right now, like I'm thinking like who's that other center back going starting position going to be? And I think right now it's going to be Mark
It's
Hui.
definitely yeah.
And then like you said, is it going to be John Stones? John Stones only played the last game for Pep at the end of the season, so it's hard for me to see like
I don't, yeah, the John Stones one, and I know that they were talking about a lot of, oh, they want, I guess the veteran leadership there and stuff like that. How many cheerleaders do you need? You already have fucking Jordan Henderson. These are all professionals. You already have Harry Kane. He's been there a while. How many fucking people do you need to hold these people's hands?
no,
Like, do you
yeah.
really, like, why did John Stones, he's not going to play.
Oh, yeah. The Jordan Henderson one,
It's, it's,
I
it's like,
kind of,
but like, it was the
I
same
no,
thing in 2020.
yeah, the only reason I see it just because of his leadership and just a voice in the locker room. That's the only reason I can say he brought him. But again, the Noni Madueke one just doesn't make sense. But like you said before, like you look at this team and like you look, okay, that one center back position isn't going to be very comfortable. And then you look at your wingers on England, and you just look. Harry Kane obviously up top's always going to be a problem, but like you look, is it Saka who we know isn't? Again, this is my opinion. I think he's so overrated. I know we've had an episode on this.
Big
Uh,
time, baby.
him
Big
and
time.
Madueke out wide. Like to me, that's like that doesn't scream super dangerous and a lot of goals. And then if you switch one of them with Anthony Gordon, maybe he shocks us a little bit more. But at the same time, it's just like it's not a dangerous three. Like put Portugal's front three, put Germany's front three, put there's a bunch of teams you can put their top three, and it just doesn't look good. And I think what Tuchel did this year, and I know you hate Tuchel, is he just wants he's just showing he wants a team, not just the best 26 English players. And I think he's overthinking the crap out of that roster selection he picked. And he may think after said, or maybe after the first two games and say, I may have I may have screwed up here.
There might be four. There's a potential at any given time that there's, let's see here, three forwards, one midfielder, and five Arsenal players on the pitch at one time. The reason I say that is they are the most boring motherfuckers ever. Can you imagine watching a World Cup match like Arsenal plays in the Premier League? Passing back and forth, passing sideways, passing back and forth, passing to the keeper. It could be really bad. There's a chance that they get through the group stages, obviously.
Oh,
I think they
they're
get,
still going to win the group.
I think they might, there's a chance get eliminated first round after the groups. I don't think it's impossible. This roster is not meant, they're not going to score.
Yeah,
That's a huge problem. And I
I,
don't know who he's planning on starting an attacking midfielder, but if it's Jude Bellingham, I don't agree with it. I don't think Bellingham's best position is attacking midfielder. I think his best position is box to box. And I would put Declan Rice at holding midfielder. I've heard Kobe Mainu. I do like him too. It just depends what he does. But I would have gone in my world, if I was the coach and not Thomas Tuchel, I would have gone Morgan Gibbs White,
no, I
the
agree with
top of
that.
that triangle. Imagine that triangle. Morgan Gibbs White, then you have Bellingham going box to box, Declan Rice holding. And I do like Kobe Mainu. I'm not saying I don't, but he had what? I believe it was how many, what were his goal assist involvements this year? It was less than Morgan Gibbs White
Yeah,
by a good
yeah.
tally. I
Well, he
believe
didn't
it might have
play
been
as
one
much
or
either,
two.
but yeah.
Right, but that's the thing. And then I didn't mean we didn't even get into it at right back. I mean Trent Alexander-Arnold, I have a very I he just Tuchel doesn't like Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think that's pretty clear. I don't know why. I would have brought him in some capacity. You need another right or left back.
Isn't it because wasn't there a story about his mom or
Yeah,
something?
no, no.
Or his
Well,
sister?
Thomas Tuchel's mom doesn't like him, and then Thomas Tuchel was dating his ex, so it's pretty shitty. But
Fair enough.
like, yeah, it's pretty shitty. But I mean, I think that the backs that they are bringing, Nico O'Reilly, Spence, Reece James, and Quanza's a back, correct?
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
back.
He's back, yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, they don't have a lot of experience at all. Quanza's got one senior cap. Nico O'Reilly's got three.
Nico
Nothing else
Riley's a
is.
stud though. I will
He
back
is.
that kid.
He
I
is.
will back
Yeah.
that kid up.
I will not back Quanza or Jed Spence.
Yeah, Spence just broke his jaw from the lap.
Spence was on like the worst defense in the league.
I know.
So
Yeah.
it just again, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, we know why, but Lewis Hall too. Like again, those
Yeah,
are
it's a
two backs I
shocking
would
one.
have brought. But the Reece James thing, I know you love him, and I know we're Chelsea fans. I have such a tough time. You bring him to a tournament, he always gets hurt, man.
But if he stays healthy, he's one of the best. Again, staying healthy, but he's not playing as many games. He gets more of a break.
Yeah, but like again, such a big if.
No, I get it.
Yeah. Anything else that we want to talk about on the national team rosters and the snubs right now? Or I think we've beat this to death a bit.
Yeah, I think England and US are probably the two biggest. To be honest, England was probably the biggest
I think the
World Cup
English,
selection. Yeah,
there were just so many. I think because they have so many, it's such a big player pool,
that's
right?
true. Yeah.
So I think that does make things a little different. But yeah, no, there were a lot of snubs, I think. It's just interesting moves. Yeah, interesting stuff. Well, moving right along, we have the Beyond.a.ball award segment, and we covered the Premier League pretty heavily in our last episode of the pod. So in this one, we're going to get into La Liga, Bundesliga, Serie A, and Ligue 1 awards. I might have mispronounced that. And we have a list of awards for all the leagues, and we're going to cover quite a bit. So for each league, we are going to go over the surprise team of the season, the disappointment team of the season, the signing of the season, the young player of the season, the most underrated player, the most
Important.
important player, and then the most washed but still useful players of the season.
We got a good
We
amount,
have,
followers.
we have seven topics to cover across four leagues. So you're going to hear 28, 7, 14, 21, 28. There you go. There's math. 28 different names. Maybe you had some of the same. But Jay, what league you want to start with?
Start with La Liga.
Start with La Liga. Okay,
How
perfect.
do you want to do this? Do you want to go like I say goalkeeper, then you say goalkeeper, just if we have the same, or do you just want to do your Oh, sorry, I'm thinking the roster. I'm just kidding. Ignore that. Let's start with La Liga. Surprise team for me is Celta Vigo. Grabbed the Europa League spot uh, in the sixth, which is massive achievement for them, as they were not supposed to be even a top 10 in the league this year. So Celta Vigo.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. For me, I'm going to go with Real Betis finishing in fifth
Okay.
this year in those Champion League spots again. Can never go wrong. Finishing with those Champion League spots. So they're my surprise team of the season. And shouts to Anthony.
Anthony spins in the middle of the field.
Anthony had a FOTMOM rating this season of 7.43, 6 assists. Man brought his career back after leaving Man U. Do you think Man U brings him back? Did we
No,
call him or did
no,
Betis buy him out?
no. It doesn't matter. Carrick won't want him.
Anthony had 8 goals.
Yeah, Carrick won't want him though. Uh,
Next team, disappointment team of the season. Jay, who you got?
I got Girona. 2 years ago, they were one of the best stories in Europe. I don't know if you remember that story of how deep of a run they made it in La Liga, and now they are relegated on the final day, on the final
Yeah,
day. So 2 years becoming a top team in La Liga, then going to the relegation zone. So they're my disappointing team.
fair enough there. For me, I'm gonna go with, and it's a tough kind of ish pick for me. I am gonna go though with Atletico Madrid. They were
Okay.
so far off the pace this year. I mean, they finished 69, Barcelona 74, 25 points
Yeah,
off the
they're
top.
usually
That's
they're
bad.
usually not that far up. They're
25, that's
like
a lot.
they're usually single digits, if
That's
not
eight
maybe like
wins. That's
yeah,
8 wins and a draw, man. That's a lot. And they finished under Villarreal. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, really not a good season at all for them. They weren't able to make really a deep run. Did they bring home any silverware? No.
No, not that I believe is Barca. No, they didn't.
They had chances. They have opportunities. They did not though. Yeah, so tough on them. The next one we got here is the signing of the season. Who you going with?
I have Joan Garcia, Barcelona goalkeeper.
Good.
Obviously
Good.
signed him from Espanyol the year before. Became the number one and only conceded 21 goals in 30 matches.
Yeah, yeah, great season for him. I'm going with the Barcelona theme as well. I'm going with Marcus Rashford though.
Marcus, yeah, it's a
I
good
mean,
shout.
I think he had a great season, right? That could have gone so many different ways, and for him, good for him. He really turned basically his career around. His career was going nowhere. His career was going into the gutter, and now I'm interested to see if Barcelona's gonna be able to keep him now. And now that they're looking to sign Anthony Gordon.
Yeah,
That's interesting to me. I don't it
yeah.
unless you're planning on running Anthony Gordon up top as striker, which he has done a
With
lot in his
If
career.
Lewandowski leaves, yeah,
Well,
there's a
he is
lot.
already leaving. Lewandowski's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that would be the only time that makes sense to have them both, obviously. But yeah, Marcus Rashford definitely a revival season for him. I mean, I'm gonna cover it. If you have anybody different, let me know. Young player of the season for La Liga is going to be Lamine Yamal for me. I don't know if there's
yeah.
anybody.
There's no argument about it.
Do we
One of
need
the best,
to?
yeah, best one of the best players in the league, one of the best in the world. Young, talented. Nothing really need to go forward there with there.
Yeah, he's a prick. But yeah, no, he definitely is definitely the young player this season. I mean, there's no doubts about that. Most underrated player, Jay.
I have Pablo Fornals from Real Betis.
Sure.
Gives him creativity, intelligence, consistency, and if you're not like a La Liga supporter, you're not going to appreciate him as much as La Liga fans do.
Oh yeah. You know who I'm gonna go with? Anthony Real Betis. Most
Anthony.
underrated player, baby. Helping them, bringing them into the Champions League. Anthony under the big lights next season, and he deserves it.
See what he can do.
Actually, he doesn't deserve it. He's like an awful human being, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard that too. Well, once I
Mo
saw him doing his spins in the middle of the field, that knew me right
Yeah.
there. You'd be getting a two footer from me,
Oh
right to the
yeah.
kneecaps.
Most important player in La Liga we got.
I mean, Yamal.
Yeah.
So again,
It's tough to debate, with La Liga because of how strong Barcelona are.
yeah.
And then just, I mean, either that or, I mean, is there somebody from Real Madrid that really stands out? I would say maybe Mbappe. Without him, they don't have, I would say, the goal tally that they do, but
You can say the same with Lamine Yamal. I know
right,
Barcelona's
right.
still deep, but
It's
without
so
him on
tough
the
to,
wing,
yeah.
yeah, it can go both ways.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then what do you think most washed but still useful player?
Robert Lewandowski.
Antoine
Uh,
Griezmann.
yeah, they're both great players.
Yeah,
They're both not in their prime anymore, but
for sure.
they're still helpful for both teams.
Oh yeah. I mean, Lewandowski is a top striker. I think he's still top 15 or 20 in the world,
No, yeah, I can agree with that.
especially with pure finishing. And then Griezmann, you could be ending up in Orlando, I believe.
Yeah, can't wait to see what he can do in them. See what he can do in the MLS.
How many goals do you think he scores in his first MLS season?
12,
In how many matches?
30.
No. Really?
You think more?
Yeah. It's the
I think
MLS, man. He's supposed to for like 25 goals.
I don't
These
know. Maybe
guys come here and they just fucking score. Have you ever watched MLS matches? They come here and they score, just
obviously
score.
not
Everyone,
because
everyone
it's
just.
shit football.
I love watching the MLS,
Yeah,
and they love
you want to pay
scoring.
for my Apple TV package? No, thank you. You're not getting my money, Messi.
My brother has it, so I'm good on that. But yeah, no, dude, I love it. Taking the overs. They all score. They all just love scoring. It's great. Uh, all right, we'll move at it. We'll transition out of La Liga. We'll move over to the Bundesliga. Get there into season awards. We got a surprise team of the season, Jay.
For the Bundesliga,
Yeah, drop it.
Hoffenheim
It's a good surprise team of the
actually
season.
making teams think they were actually good, but they weren't supposed to be that good. So
Okay.
they're my shocking team, surprise team.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll take it. You know what? Give me Stuttgart.
Stuttgart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finishing in Champions League spots. Big for them. I'll also say Hamburg. First
Hamburger.
season, first season after promotion, staying up rather comfortably. Um, in 13th place, they're on 38 points. So yeah, that's who I got for the surprise teams of the season. Who you got for disappointment of the season?
Unfortunately, it's Dortmund. It's
Explain.
because because they're so talented. They're they're so talented and they have very high expectations, but somehow at the end of the season, they always leave you frustrated.
Hmm. Okay. See, I wouldn't go that way because I just never would expect them to beat this Bayern Munich team at this point. I
No,
could
I
see
agree.
it though.
I don't think anyone's ever going to beat that Bayern team if we're being honest.
I could see it though. I'm going to go with the team that just continues to really drop. Union Berlin, 11th this season
Yeah,
on 39 points. How long ago was it when they were in the Champions League? 3 seasons
I
ago?
think it was two or three. Yeah,
Now they're down in 11th. Another team I could put right up there too, and I know they kind of just got everything taken from them, but Leverkusen down in 6th.
yeah.
That's
That's
not a that's a big drop. And again, I know they lost a lot of top talent. But that's a disappointing. Anytime you drop out of those Champions League spots and down like something like 6th, that is that's quite a little drop there. Not a little drop actually.
big
They
drop
just
for them.
haven't
Yeah,
they haven't come back after Alonso left.
yeah. It's tough.
Yeah. Signing of the season, I think we might all be in agreement. Luis Diaz.
Yep, agreed.
I think everybody and their mothers. Luis Diaz, just incredible season. Liverpool just fools for letting him go. I think
Yeah,
they're probably realizing that now, especially with Mo Salah departing, that they don't really have the wide options that they need to compete in the Premier League. And Luis Diaz, I think, is one of the top in the world.
yeah,
It's going to be fun to watch in the World Cup too.
yeah. What did he have? Like over 40 goals and assists.
Luis Diaz, I can,
I think it was like 25 and 20 or something.
yeah, just I
Top of my
mean,
head. Yeah,
absolute
yeah,
bananas
he's
numbers.
gonna be fun to watch for Colombia this summer.
Yeah, I mean, he's a top player. Let's take a look here. Luis Diaz. I mean, he had 15 goals and 14 assists. So, and that's just in the Bundesliga. So that's 29.
Okay, 29.
I mean, that's a
Like,
great, yeah, but I'm
yeah,
sure he's pretty close to
with
40 if you were to
Champions
count them all
League
up.
and
Yeah,
other stuff. Yeah.
for sure. For sure. Young player of the season, easy for me. I'm going Lennart Carl. Bayern Munich had a great season for them. Very young, 5 goals in the regular season, 18 years old, just turned 18 in the Bundesliga, was 5 goals, 5 assists. Um, I think he was really good, and I think he's going to continue to be a very good player for them coming off that right wing and then attacking through
Eh.
the midfield as well.
Yeah, anyone on Bayern's gonna be good. I'm
Yep.
going with Jan Demande from RB Leipzig.
Okay.
Uh, he's very impactful player uh, on the team, and he was also named. Do you know they do this for these other leagues? I was looking at like just looking at awards and stuff. They do like rookie of the years, like offensive, like player of the year, like defense. He was named rookie of the season.
Really
Yeah. Well, I'll get more into it when we talk about like Serie A and League One. Like some of the awards like these players are getting, it's kind of like very weird
interesting.
for professional soccer.
Not know about that. Jay, thanks for letting me know, bud.
Yeah, so
Appreciate it.
who's your most underrated player, E?
Is it going to be silly? I'm
Is it
going to
gonna
be
be
silly. It's going
is
to be
it gonna
fucking Michael Elise.
Oh, I don't think he's underrated though.
I think I've said it before and I'll say it again and again and again. It's Michael. Like he is one of the most underrated talents in the world. And I think he could be a Ballon d'Or winner.
I don't think anybody's looking at him like that he
That's the thing.
is a
Nobody's
bun.
looking at him though. That's the thing.
I
Nobody's
did
looking at him. When you talk about Bayern Munich, you're thinking about Harry Kane. You're thinking about Musiala. You're probably not thinking about Olise. He's not. I'm telling you. I think people. Well, maybe not Bayern Munich, but I think when you talk about like top wingers in the world, I think his name goes unmentioned because I think he's not as almost like flashy enough. He's just silky smooth.
well, it won't after this season and this year.
Yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm going with, and I
No,
think yeah,
I get
maybe
you.
not anymore. Maybe this was his coming out season, but that's what I'm going off of because I just
Yeah.
don't think he gets enough respect.
Fact. No, I get that. I have Denise Undorf from VfB Stuttgart.
Okay.
You like that? Huge
Yeah,
season for
yeah.
them, 25 goals and 14 assists. Uh and just kept producing for them. Without him on the team, they are definitely a bottom of the table team trying to fight for relegation.
Bottom dwellers, yeah. We don't like those bottom dwellers around here.
We do not.
Who's your most important player of the season?
I had to go with Harry Kane.
I did too.
Yeah,
When
even
you put up the
there's so
numbers he put up this season,
yeah,
like it's really hard. Same thing like Lamine Yamal. Like, yes, it could be the obvious choice, but saying
it's
anything but the obvious choice in that position, you're just a fool.
you're wrong. Yeah,
You're
like
just wrong, right? You can't.
if you take Harry Kane off Bayern, do I think they still win the league? Yes, but
How many goals does Nico Jackson score up top for them?
I think he probably have 15 plus just because of the quality in the Bundesliga.
Honestly, Nico Jackson in that roster, I would say would have closer to 25 goals.
25. No, I can definitely see that.
How many? Because he
What?
scored a lot for Chelsea.
Yeah, he did.
I wish. I honestly, would you take him back?
I did hear there's rumors that he's coming back, that he wants to play with Alonso.
What would be smart if we were smart and not a bunch of idiots? I like Yao Pedro, I do, but give me Jackson back. He had more goals. I think he was more effective. And if we can get like 100 million off of Pedro from Barcelona or any amount
Well,
of money,
it's already confirmed he's not for sale. They said it
yeah.
already.
But that's so like, but again, that's just silly,
No, yeah, I get what you're
silly,
saying.
silly stuff. Who's your most watched but still useful player there?
Emre Can.
Okay.
Again, fans complaining about you realize until you realize when he's not in the field, and then you know there's a problem.
Yeah. Um, that's a good shout, just good shout. I'm going to go with Thomas Neuer because, again, with Barcelona, you just can't go wrong. He's a little bit of an ageless wonder, 40 years
Who?
old.
Who?
Manuel Neuer, not Thomas
I
Neuer.
was about to say, I was thinking Thomas
Yeah,
Neuer.
I went Thomas Neuer. Manuel Neuer, 22 matches, 6 clean sheets. I mean, he's just he's Barca, man. He's Barca to his a T. He's been Barca, Jesus Christmas. Bayern. He's Bayern to a T. He's been Bayern his whole career. We'll start with Schlock, um, or Schalke. But yeah, he's been with Bayern for about the last 15 years. So
Yeah,
good on you, Manuel Neuer. Good on you.
think it says going to be his last World Cup too.
I do believe so. I mean, he's
Yeah.
40, he's getting old.
Yeah.
Moving along, we have League One end of season awards, and then a lot of this stuff, again, is probably going to be geared more towards the Paris Saint-Germain. But who do you have for the surprise team of the season in
Le
League One?
Lens
Lens.
finished second and lifted a trophy, and literally, I don't know how many years in a row that it's been that PSG has won the league. I think it's a ridiculous number. I
Right.
want to say we're like 17 years in a row. Don't
Hmm.
quote me on that, but they gave them a run. They gave them a run for the money this year.
They did. It was
And
only it was only a difference of 6 points.
6 points, yeah, and just no one, you never see that. PSG always runs away with it. So shout out to them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree as well. They came real close. You could also go to Strasbourg, one of the more entertaining teams in the league this season for them, putting up 58 goals, giving up 47. A lot of stuff going on at Strasbourg. My disappointment team of the season, though, is Olympique Marseille, or just
Mhm.
Marseille, as the cool kids call them, or Marseille, really is the way it's called. Just so many top, well, not top players, but so many names on that roster to not produce, and such a team that has historically been good in League One. And really, I think just falling short. They finished up in fifth place this season, um, missing out on obviously Champions League, but they actually only are making Europa League.
Yeah,
So not even like a Champions League qualification. It's not like the Premier League. They only get three spots automatically in League One. But Marseille is
Marseille.
my yes, Marseille. Yes.
Can't go wrong. My disappointing team is, I'm just gonna say this in plain English without the accent, is nice.
Okay.
However you say that in the other language, Nice maybe. They really had enough talent this year to be in the Europa conversation, but instead literally had a cup final loss and had to survive pressure the entire season, end up not getting relegated, but in the relegation qualification game. So
Nice. Who you got for signing of the season?
Dorian Thavin from Lens
Yep.
uh came back to League One where he played before and made history with Lens.
Yeah,
Simple
I
enough.
agree. I'm in the same boat
Same.
there. I honestly don't know too much about the French League, Jay, so I'm letting you really kind of crush it over here. I got at least for my young player this season, I got Warren Zaire-Emery,
Mhm.
reestablishing himself over at Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, PSG is a great side, and I think he had a really solid year for them.
No, yeah, I agree. And then my young player is Ruben Rizar, also from Lens. Uh, it's hard to ignore a goalkeeper, uh, especially for this team with how important of a player he was.
Right on. Most underrated player for me is the next topic, and I'm going with Vitinha, because I think he's one of the best central midfielders in the world. And again,
Yeah.
another guy that is not talked about a lot. I think he's a huge cog in that system. He's really the link between the PSG defense and that offense. There's so many attacking options, but there needs to be somebody who can get it to them,
No, yeah.
right? And he's going to
Without him
be
on PSG, they are not as good as a team.
it's like Pedri at Barcelona. It's like
Yes.
let's think Frank Lampard with Chelsea. Let's think Granit Xhaka with Arsenal.
Okay, yeah.
Right, that position that's kind of like deep lying playmaker type deal, right? And with some box crashing, but really kind of orchestrating from the back and controlling the team from there. Xabi Alonso.
Yeah. All good shouts.
Yeah, yeah, good for me. Who you got?
I have Adrian Thimazan, another Lens player. Uh,
Loading him up.
again, yeah, again, without him, they're not as good as they were this season. Really, not much to say about him.
Okay. Most important player? Who do you think the most important player is? Because I think for me, it's got to be somebody from PSG.
Okay, I do have somebody from PSG as well, and I felt like there was so many. Like, I feel like I could have went with Vitinha, like you said,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
I actually, you may not like it, and I know he didn't play as many games as he did this year, but I'm gonna go with Dembele. And it's an argumentative. Oh my God, I can't speak.
No, yeah, I get it. It's
Shout
a
just
right.
because he missed half of the season, somehow he still won Player of the Season for PSG. But I think without them, I still think PSG is not as good because they just depend on him to break games open.
So I'm gonna go with a PSG player, and my most important player is, and maybe it's not because of so much what he does during the League One season, but it's gonna be because I
Yep.
don't think they're in the Champions League final if it's not for him.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
He fucking has been cooking in the Champions League, like cooking with a capital C, like unreal work, and not just against Chelsea, but cooked against Bayern Munich too. Um, so he's mine. But then Dembele, I don't totally disagree again because he's so instrumental. He scores so much for them. He scores in boatloads, right? It's really hard to see him like say he's not. So I do see that as well.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
I
disagree, but like again, it's League One too is just it's pretty weak, right? Like it's a
no,
pretty
yeah,
weak league outside of these PSG, the PSG to be honest.
yeah, no, I
Um,
agree.
and who do you have for most washed but still useful player?
Alexander Lacazette from Neom SSC. Ah, dude sucks. Dude needs to retire.
Dude sucks.
You just look at his jersey number, it's jersey number 91, and that just tells me enough.
I'm gonna go with somebody else. It's a shit boy that sucks, and I've hated him pretty much since his Arsenal days when they got rid of his bitch ass. I am gonna go with Aubameyang though. He had a
Bombing,
decent
okay.
season for not a good team. 10 goals, 5 assists. Not terrible for somebody at his age, 36 years old, turning 37 in June. Like he ain't young,
Yeah,
so still put up a half decent season, even though he's a shit boy. And then we'll
no.
move right along. Our last end of season awards is Serie A. Surprise team of the season, Jay.
Como.
Yep. I
Uh,
want to visit there. What a beautiful place, too.
yeah,
Like that place
no,
just looks awesome. They had a great season. Champions League for Como, man. Champions League.
yeah, one of the best stories in Syria that we've heard in a while. A little
Yeah.
Sex Fabregas action.
I'm going to go with Roma up there too, though. I am definitely going to go with Roma because that's another team that typically doesn't make that Champions League, right? Because you have two really big admissions this year. Milan and Juve both not making it. So it opens the door up for a Roma and for a Como to make it. And I think that's
Yeah.
great, right?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
love that. And I think that's great. And who do you have for biggest disappointment?
AC Milan.
Yeah.
They finished fifth, missing the Champions League. They had 3 wins in their last 10 games. And it looked like in the beginning, halfway through the season, pretty sure they were in first, just halfway through the season, and just disappointing because they looked like they were building something and just it just all fell apart.
Yeah. No, I agree there. Um, I'm gonna
But yeah.
stay with I have a toss up. I have a toss up between three, really. You can go with Milan.
Hmm.
You have so much talent, wasted potential. You can go with Juventus.
Yep.
Same thing, wasted potential. You can go with Atalanta. Made the Champions
Atlanta's
League
gonna
last
try you.
year. So you have three squads this year totally underperforming. Milan and Juve will be making the Europa League. But Atlanta, they don't automatically make the Conference League. They actually have to go through a
Yeah.
qualification in
Qualify.
that
Yep.
seventh spot. So they're not even guaranteed Europe. And after making the Champions League, that's quite a
Oh yeah.
financial conundrum, right?
Yeah.
So that could be the start of bad. But yeah, I think Milan, I'm with you there. There's so many players. And what is scary, and I think really scary for Team USA is the fact that just Pulisic just dropped off a cliff towards the end of the season.
No, yeah, he did. He did.
He only
Uh,
he started out hot. He only finished with 12 goal involvements on the season. So yeah, well, we'll sketch it. We'll sketch it. Signing of the season, I'm going with I'm gonna go with Nico Pass.
there you go. Okay.
Helping carry Cuomo into the European contention. He won the Serie A best midfielder and just was not really a massive money superstar, but really just a really solid midfielder for Como. And again, really big cog in that team right now, helping them reach the Champions League.
Oh yeah, I agree. I have Donnell Milan from Roma. Gave them exactly what they needed, direct threat goals, and
Yeah, he's
a
good,
player
man.
was able to just change the game when he
He's
felt like it.
he's been around forever.
He's been
He's been
a
bouncing
long
around.
time.
He's always been playing in sides that have definitely they've needed him to like perform,
Yeah.
right? Like a Dortmund, and then he went over to Villa, and he was big for them down the stretch last season in the Premier League. Good shout there. Young player of the season, even in a disappointing Juve season, I still think this is really kind of the future of their club. And Yildiz,
Yep,
Kenan Yildiz,
I have
or
him as
Kenan
well.
Yildiz. I mean, won Series A Rising Star Award this season. Definitely the most dangerous attacker that Juventus even has on their roster. So that is Yildiz is mine.
Yep, I have him as well. 21-year-old carrying the number 10 jersey. Future's bright for him at Juventus.
Yeah, and he as far as goals and assists go,
10 and 6.
10 and 6. It's a good season. It's a good
Yeah.
season, and 21 years old from Turkey. The U.S. plays Turkey in their group, right?
Yes, they do.
Bet on Yildiz to score a goal. There you go.
You're
Um,
underrated player, Ian. All right, I have Miles Slavar from Roma. He's not a headline goalkeeper, not like a standout stud that you'll talk about when goalkeepers, but without him, Roma does not finish third with how not great that defense was. They had the have a lot from him, and he did a good job keeping them there.
okay, okay. I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have one.
Okay, so
Not
underrated
gonna lie.
player is
No, that was
Ian
you just.
Wookich.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't have one for there. It was really tough for me to think of an underrated player in Serie A this season.
Fair enough. Do you have a
All right.
most important player, Ian, or is that going to be yourself as well?
Well, it's always going to be myself, just, but no, my most important player this season is going to be Scott McTominay.
Okay.
Love the Scottish man, Scott McTominay, and again, it's just Napoli. I don't think is the same team without him. I don't think he is. He just continues to produce 10 goals, 5 assists for them this season. I'm lying. 10 goals, 3 assists for him this season. But still a good campaign for him on that Napoli squad.
No, yeah, definitely so much better on Napoli than he was on Man United. But I have Federico DiMarco from
Good
Inter
pick.
Milan.
Good pick.
Just wasn't a wing back, but he's like creative weapon, emotional leader, and one of the re main reasons they controlled the league.
You know why I can't stand him is the fact that he's going bald and won't let it go. Like it's really bad. Like
Bad,
he's got
yeah,
a really bad widow's peak, and then what he does is he'll do like a faux hawk, but then the
yeah.
bald cuts it, and I'm like, dude, as a
Just let it
bald
go.
man, dude, you gotta let it go, man.
Let it go,
You
yeah,
gotta let it go. You're a professional ball player, like a professional player, or get hair plugs.
or something. Yeah, that's true.
Like, dude, come on, it's bad. It's bad. Most washed but still useful player. I know one that's pretty much a shoe-in for this, but I'm not gonna go with him. My shoe-in is gonna be Luka Modric.
Okay, I did not see that one coming.
The one I'm really, the
Yeah,
one I'm going with though is Kevin De Bruyne. 5 goals, 2 assists in 18 matches.
you know who I have, Mr. Red Bull himself, Jamie Vardy from Cremonese. He's not the same, man, but he still gives you those moments of genius where you say, "Where the hell did that come
Seven
from?"
goals, 2 assists. Vardy party, man. His documentary is incredible. Have you watched it?
I have not.
Dude, it's something that as soon as we get off, you should watch. It's like one of the more incredible stories. Like he
Oh,
started from non-league football
oh. Yeah, I did hear that.
and he came up at like 26 or something.
That's
Like
something
his first
crazy.
season with Leicester wasn't until, God, I don't know the age. It was in 2012. Okay, so 14 years ago. Jamie Vardy now is 39, 25.
So a year after, yeah,
That's 25 is his first Premier League season.
that's kind of crazy when you think about it.
Actually, I don't think they were even in the Prem at that time.
Nah, definitely weren't.
Yeah, so we're talking like what, 27?
So yeah,
And he's got over 100 Premier League goals.
yeah.
That's a really good fucking point, man. Damn. Damn, that was a good point.
Good
Damn.
shout.
All right. I mean, hey, we got a lot of players, covered a lot of topics in all of those. Justin, anything you want to leave us off on our end of season awards?
No, yeah, definitely a lot of awards for different players that fit in with their team in the different leagues.
Yeah, and I think with those leagues, one of the things you see, I think, is less um, differences in the teams, like for a lot of awards. And I think you can probably see those in the league themselves, like in their best 11s versus the Premier League, right? The
Yeah.
Premier League, it's like every team you could, has an impact signing, something along those lines, or maybe a young player. Even on like a team like Wolves, you could even say with Mane,
Yeah,
that he could be the young player this season on a team getting relegated. And you just wouldn't
that's
see that in
fair.
these
Yeah,
other leagues, right?
other
These other
leagues. Yeah.
leagues, they just sell them off to the Premier League. So that's really interesting, and I think it's cool. Gives our listeners, whoever's listening out there, a little taste of what else is going on outside the Premier League for once in a while. All right, we're gonna go World Best 11 now. We're just gonna get right into the World Best 11. Jay, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, or do you want to? Yeah, let's get in the World Best 11
Yeah, I
then.
just feel like if we did each team, it may just take a lot longer.
Yeah, and I was thinking
Yeah.
about it too. To that point, it's going to be a lot of like Bayern Munich. It's going to be a lot of PSG. It's going to be a lot of
Yeah,
Barca,
like
Real
bonus.
Madrid.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I don't know. Maybe listeners will like post. We'll have a post on Instagram or TikTok and put pictures of like our best 11 for each league or something like that, and have you guys have some input on us
Yeah,
or just
yeah.
something like that.
Okay, all right, I agree. So yeah, let's get into our world best 11. How do you want to do this? Do you want to go position by position?
Yeah, let's go position by position. And
What's the
this
formation you're
like
playing?
I'm going to 4-3-3.
Okay.
Because there's like a couple positions I actually had to think, and like I'm still like looking at my starting 11 right now. I'm still not confident on some of them. Like I feel like I could switch some of them, but
Okay. Who do you want to go first?
yeah, I'll start with the goalkeeper, and then you go your goalkeeper, and then you can go right back, and we'll just go that way. We'll go back and forth, friend.
Okay.
My goal, my goalkeeper, best 11. I hate to say it, but it's got to be David Raya from Arsenal.
I mean, it
I,
doesn't
I, I,
have. It just doesn't have to be.
no, but if I'm being honest with myself, in the best 11, the best goalkeeper in the world right now, it's him, unfortunately.
I'm going with Donnarumma.
Okay.
I think he, I, I, it's tough for me to disagree with Raya because of the amount of clean sheets he has. That being said, I think a lot of the clean sheets he has are beneficial because of the way Arsenal plays defense around him. I think Arsenal's defense around him is better, and I think Donnarumma has made more important saves over the season for Man City. My
Okay.
second place player would actually be Thibaut Courtois. And I
Yeah,
know
he's
we're not doing
still.
a second, but he as well saved Madrid from probably more embarrassment than they went through this year. He was a
No, I agree. He's
huge for
always going
them
to
this
be good.
season. Yeah.
No, I can agree with that.
Who you got for right back?
I got Hakimi
Mhm.
from PSG, and I think like a right back spot is so hard to determine. Like, 'cause I feel like there's not a lot of I'm gonna use the word great here. Great right backs in the world. I think there's a lot of good right backs in the world, but I don't think there's a lot of great right backs in the world. So I ended up going with Hakimi.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, I went with Hakimi as well. I think
Uh,
that's another position. I bounced around with a couple of different players shortly in my head of who it could be, and it didn't really.
yeah, 'cause I thought about
When
Joshua
you think
Kimmich
about, yeah, like I mean, when you think about like Hakimi, what he can provide, not just defensively, but on attack
going
as well.
forward. Yes.
He's like another shadow. He's like basically a shadow striker, right? Like he's popping up in the box. He's coming across with great assists. He's almost like a Zanetti from Argentina a long
Hmm.
time ago. So that's why I take him. And then at the left back, I'm just going to dive into my other back. I'm going
Okay.
Nuno Mendes. I do think I would have gone Marc Cucurella in any other season, but he was a shit fucking
Yeah,
head this season for
he's
us.
bad
Just a
this year.
shit head
Yeah.
for us. So.
Yeah, I went Nuno Mendes as well. And I don't think there's anyone close to him at that left back spot right now.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Who are you going at center back?
I have my first one is William Saliba from Arsenal.
I literally have the
Uh
same thing.
Again, there's the stats back it up, the clean sheets. Again, no Arsenal hate. He's just a solid defender who does the job. Barely gets beat. Good in the air. You have him as well.
Yeah, I do. He's another player who's just had an incredible season, and it's really hard to say he's not.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to say he's not. Um,
Who do you have paired with him, Ian? Do you have his partner in crime at Arsenal as well, or did you go with someone else?
No, no, no. I went William. No, I would never. I hate Gabriel. There's few things I hate more in the world than Gabriel. Like he is the whiniest fucking bitch I have ever watched. Ever. He'll all the time be just nagging for fouls that aren't fouls. He's always whining about something, man. I can't stand his ass. The amount of times he should have been sent off this season and he wasn't for Arsenal is just like despicable. I don't
Yeah.
understand how he made it through some of those matches. I don't have him. I have William Pacho because I think he just had a
Okay, yeah.
terrific season for PSG. Common possession, outstanding defensively, very aggressive, and he's been really big for PSG during their European run. So I think quietly becoming one of the better cornerback or
No,
center backs in the planet on the planet.
no, I agree. I have obviously center back Alessandro Bastini from Inter. I still think I think he's one of the best ball playing center backs in Europe. Uh
Okay,
again my formation's a 4-3-3, but I think like in a 3-5-2 or 3-4-3, he's someone who can just step in and break the lines easily.
okay, all right, all right. So that's our back four. What do you have for your midfield?
This is where like I am still all over the place. Like if I'm playing a 4-3-3 and I'm playing here with a 6 and then an 8 and 10, I can go one way, but then if I'm just playing with like two eights and a 10, I can go a different way. But I'm gonna start with my 6, and I'm gonna go Declan Rice. Uh without Declan Rice, and I know we've talked about it, I know you're don't look happy, and I think without Declan Rice on Arsenal, they're not a Premier League winning team this year. Ian, who's your center mid
Not fucking Declan Rice.
if you want to say it?
Dominic Soboslai
Okay.
out of Liverpool. I think he had an exceptional season from them. I think he's very versatile. I think he can cover a lot of ground. And I would put him at my holding midfield position because I think he has played well in that right back position as well. So he's shown that he can play defense. He can hold it down back there as a six. That's what I'm going with. Dominic
No, yeah.
Soboslai.
No, I can't argue with that. He was really good for
Yeah,
Liverpool this year.
yeah, sure. Should damn well he was. Who's your
Uh,
eight?
s- so my 8 is gonna be Vintinha,
Same thing.
from
Yep.
PSG, and I know we talked about him before. He's he can get back for you. He can get the ball moving forward, break the lines, creates opportunities. He basically does it all.
Yeah, I have Vitinha as well. I said it before. He's the key cog to that system. So I think he's going to be my box to box guy that's going to be able to bridge that gap between a really solid defense and then my front four, essentially.
For
Um,
who's your 10, Ian? Because I'm gonna give you mine, but
yeah,
then I'm no, you're
give
gonna
me
go first.
yours.
No, you're gonna go first. I asked you first, but then I'm also gonna say who I could replace him with.
Leo Messi
Um,
is my 10. An incredible talent, ageless. When he plays, and again, I know it's the MLS, but just exceptionally ageless. I can't think of a better attacking midfielder in the world. In the world. And I think everyone's going to see it again in the World Cup, how fucking good he still is, dude. As somebody who watches him week in and week out, the way he puts defenders into just an absolute pretzel, like better than somebody like Son, who just coming out of the Premier. Like
he's
Messi's
playing
like
playing Sunday
doesn't
league
matter. Does
teams.
not matter.
Oh
If you
my
were to put
God.
him in Chelsea right now, he would have had 15 goal and assist contributions this year and have been our most important
No,
player.
no, definitely wouldn't happen. We probably wouldn't be able to the ball, but
Actually, you know what? Maybe 20. He's fucking good. He's fucking good, man. I'm going with
yeah,
Messi.
sure, he's great. So I'm going with Bruno Fernandes at the 10,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that.
but I also had Pedri from Barcelona as well.
Okay.
Uh, I feel like you can't go wrong with both of them, but I just feel like with Bruno, the year he had with, again, the goals and breaking the Premier League record for most assists, it was hard for me not to put him in that 10 role. And I think he would. do good with actually Declan Rice would do all defensive work, and then Vitinha that eight spot getting Bruno the ball, then Bruno can go forward.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that as well. I think Bruno Fernandes had a great year. Obviously set the assist record in the Premier League. So yeah, no, I love him. I think he had a great year. Great year.
Yeah,
Player of the league. Player of the season in the Premier
player
League,
of the
eh?
season. Yeah,
Left wing, who do you I have a really key omission, two key omissions up top that people are gonna think, what the fuck's wrong with you? But who are you going with at left wing?
Luis Diaz
That's a good
from
shout.
from
That's a good shout,
from
man.
Bayern Munich. I was between him and what's the nickname you gave me from PSG? I can't pronounce it. Kavicha.
Bardescalia?
Kvaratskhelia, yeah. I had him as my second one between them. But again, I think Luis Diaz was so good this year, man. Like
Yeah,
just seeing him
was.
go from Liverpool, and I know we talked about him before, to Bayern, and again, two different leagues, I understand that. But what he was doing on Bayern and what he was doing against these European teams in the Champions League was just a whole different side of a player we didn't know who had that beast in him.
Now you're making me rethink my pick. Because I thought, so far I've gone through, in my head, I've gone through Rafinha.
Okay.
In my head, I've gone through Mbappe.
hmm
In my head, I've gone through Doku and Semenyo both. Maybe more Semenyo. But yeah, I don't see how I don't give it to Diaz.
Yes.
I've gone through
I
Gardaskelia as well,
as
but
well,
I mean,
yeah.
Diaz, his numbers are out of this world. He's
Yeah.
produced at every level and every competition they've played against, and it's been a huge role for them. Yeah, I guess give me
Because
Diaz. I can't
Yeah,
disagree with that.
because when I look at it, I'm not thinking of like stats wise, but I'm like trying to put like the best in the world. Like if I wanted to put the best 11 on paper to play against another 11, like I think he'd be
Yeah,
the best one to have at like the moment right now, obviously, as we're recording this.
right, right. I agree. Who are you going at right wing?
It's no brainer for me. It's Lamine Yamal. I didn't have to think about it really much.
Olise for me.
At least, yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, no, I said I had some key omissions, and I think it's a personal preference thing. I don't like Lamine Yamal,
I know we've
but I
talked about this.
also don't. I don't think he is that integral as far as like assisting and passing the ball. I think it's a lot of the stuff he does is one-on-one and they clear out for him. Again, I think it's a very talented player. I think Olise is a bit more rounded at this point in time.
No, yeah, I see that.
If I'm
Lamine,
looking at it,
no, yeah, Lamine Yamal did have like one of the most assists in the La Liga this year, by the way. He was very high up there. But no, again, we said watching Michael Olise just go against everybody this season. And I know we had Nuno Mendes in our left back spot, but like watching him go against Nuno Mendes, and we've talked about how bad he made him look. I don't
yeah,
that's not a
I-
bad shout at all.
yeah, Joker-esque. Who do you have at striker?
I got Harry Kane. Again,
Okay.
I still think it was between him or Holland.
Owen
And
Holland.
yeah, and if I went with a 4-4-2, I probably would have took out I probably would have took out Pedri out of my eight spot and then put Harry Kane and Erling Haaland up top together with the 4-4-2. But I still think right now the best striker in the world is still Harry Kane.
Yeah, I love Harry Kane. Look, I'm wearing a Harry Kane jersey. I just like Holland a tad bit more because of his speed.
Yeah, no, I
I
I
think
completely
Kane's a
understand
better
that.
finisher. I think Kane's a much better finisher, better distributor of the ball. And now I'm talking myself out of Holland essentially, but I love early Holland, man. Maybe it's some bias, but I like his work ethic, and I like the way he gets back a bit on defense, right? Like
Yeah.
I think he's taken a lot of maybe peps and coaching and instruction over the years, and he's really kind of changed into a more rounded player. I mean, I still don't think he's great with his feet. I think Kane's better at that, but I think the way Holland can really turn a game on its head, he's a guy that in 5 minutes can get you a hat trick.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like he's a guy who could get behind that defense and he's strong enough to get through them. Like he could in 5 minutes get you a hat trick and wouldn't need anybody else to get in the ball. Right. Like we saw him just kind of tear it up with Norway, not a great national side. So that's why I went with Holland. But again, Kane had the best season of his career, over 50 goals in all competitions. So it's really hard to go against that. But yeah, I mean, Justin, that brings us to the end, man. That's it.
Yeah.
We got no other awards to hand out. We got no more teams of the seasons to go over. And anything you want to leave our wonderful listeners with?
Yeah, before I ask our listeners something, I have a quick question real quick. Obviously, we didn't get to go to it.
Sure.
Arsenal or PSG,
Yeah,
this
we didn't
Saturday
talk
for
we actually
Champions
didn't
League.
talk about the Champions League at all because I don't want to talk about Arsenal anymore. I'm a bit done with it. Sunday night, I'm not gonna lie, I went out, had some drinks, and I sat on the couch when I got home for about an hour, just thinking about the Premier League this season and how drastically it turned on its head for Chelsea, not making it a European spot. Pretty much what's a show. I had a tough time Saturday. I'm not gonna lie. I had a tough time swallowing the fact that Arsenal was the champion. Went out into Morristown. There's just Gooners fans everywhere. They're bar hopping, having a great time, and there I am, man. So it was tough. And I think the thing I'm saying this because I can't live through it again. I
Yeah,
can't on Saturday at 3 o'clock go on social media and see that Arsenal has won the Champions League. I can't. I cannot allow it to happen. I can't cheer for it. I can't even be talk about it. I'm going with PSG, but I also just think PSG is gonna. I hope PSG wins, man. I think
yeah.
it's more of a hope. It's more of a hope. I really hope it doesn't turn into a 1-0 match.
Yeah, because I think that favors, I don't want to take a lot of time up, but we were talking, a couple of my buddies at work, big soccer guys, were like, the longer this game stays 0-0, it favors
Arsenal's got a
Arsenal.
better chance of winning.
If PSG can score early, then Arsenal has to open up and not play their style that they want to. But
If
if it's,
PSG score two is if they can score twice, the match is over.
I think it would be over too. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
so I mean I just think PSG kind of is almost had they have stronger individuals. It's going to be coming down to who's got the best tactics, I think. I think is what it's going to come down to. But give me PSG.
no, yeah.
I can't root for Arsenal, obviously, but I also do think that this PSG side is super talented, like we've been talking about. And I think that Arsenal just doesn't score enough. I think PSG can turn it on and they can score in boatloads, and I don't think Arsenal is going to be able to hang with that.
No, yeah, I agree.
All right. Awesome. Jay, love talking as always. Anything you want to leave our listeners with now?
Yeah, I guess I'll take these two social media parts. If you guys aren't following us, follow us on YouTube at Beyond a Ball Podcast on YouTube, and also on TikTok at beyond.a.ball. And also coming up soon, obviously we have the World Cup. Currently we have 75 followers on Instagram. Once we hit the 100 mark, we will be giving out a Beyond a Ball t-shirt to the
Special edition.
special edition
Special edition
uh
first Beyond the Ball t-shirt ever
t-shirt.
being made.
Exactly.
So once we hit 100, we're gonna put together a little game, little prize, right?
Yeah, and then I think we're gonna do a World Cup bracket as well, and we'll see if any of you listeners or followers can beat me and Ian. And I think whoever maybe gets the
Should be
most
pretty easy.
points will also get maybe a prize from the cast at Beyond the Ball.
Oh, it's not gonna be me. I'm pretty poor right now, so you won't be getting
I
a.
I got it. Don't worry. It'll be England Harry Kane jersey.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you this England Harry Kane jersey. I'll bank back. I'll give you the Cole Palmer jersey I ordered for the English national team. But yeah, folks, if you haven't already, follow us there. You can follow us on the Instagram as well. I'm going to be dropping all the links into the Spotify comments here, so you won't have to listen to us read them out anymore. We'll save us some talking and some bullet points and underlines, et cetera, as well. But thank you again for tuning in. Leave us a comment, subscribe, download, tell your friends about us. From all of us over here at the Beyond the Pole podcast. Until next time.